Hello, my friends. So I wanted to come to you to just kind of talk about what I've been feeling lately, and I think others have been feeling it as well. There's been like really high energies, and there's science behind it, solar flares, geomagnetic, I don't know, lots of science behind it. But I'm not a scientist, so what I wanted to discuss with you instead is more what to do about all this energy. So I have this feeling, I've had it for a while, that I want to help more people deal with these energies, and that's why I started doing the sound healing, and why I work in, got certified in yoga and help people with meditation and breath work and grounding and all those things, because I feel like we're going to need them more than ever very soon. And I was listening to something a little bit ago, and it was basically an astrologist talking about the solar flares. I forget, a solar something they're calling it, a 25. So originally the estimated time for these big energies was going to be like 2025, and then that timeline got pushed up, and they're saying like we're pretty much right now in it, and 2024 is going to be a little crazy. And I believe that they're talking about a peak of 26, but it's also all up to, who knows, things could start going quicker, things could go slower. It's all just like guesstimates based upon information that they have. So there's no like exact science, like they can't pinpoint exactly, but the idea is that they know sometime within these next like bit here of what's going to happen. And then what they're talking about, and people have been talking about this for a long time, are like big issues with like grids going down, electrical issues, the internet, those kind of things, of being like blackout scenarios, which is going to be kind of scary for a lot of people, but it's not going to necessarily be a bad thing if you're properly prepared and have the mindset for it. And it's really a lot about mindset, because what's going to happen is an average person who hasn't even thought about this possibility, or hasn't thought about this possibility outside of, maybe watching The Walking Dead or one of those shows or something, they're not prepared for it. They don't know necessarily how to take care of themselves, and they maybe don't believe that what's on the other side is going to be better. But my belief, and again, this is my belief, do your own research. There's a lot of different sites you can look on, a lot of science sites you can look on, and kind of get a better grasp of that. That's not what I'm discussing. I'm talking more about the mental, emotional, and just having your state clear. So my thoughts are that it's basically all of this energy being forced, and I think it's kind of a good and evil thing, even though I think that dark and light belong both. You need both. But anyways, I believe what it is sort of like an ascension, or the light winning, if you want to say. I don't really think it's like a winning thing, but just to kind of put it into terms that most people are going to understand more, that it's a one, but there's going to be a little more cleanup to come. So my thoughts are that there's going to be this, dark days, maybe a week, maybe two. I don't know. You know what I mean? And some people are going to freak out, and it's not going to be something that they're going to necessarily get through with ease. If they get through, like, I don't know what's going to happen to a lot of people in situations. But what I would say is, the more that you learn to figure out how to go within, like, we've had some crazy couple of years, like between the worldwide pandemic of COVID from 2020, and then you have, like, here locally, I'm in Southwest Florida, we had Hurricane Ian was a big major thing. We just had a storm front come through a couple of days ago. This was another solar flare situation right at the same time, so go figure. And it went up across the state and up the East Coast, and there's like major flooding in situations where that's totally like just an odd thing to happen this time of year. And people are talking about flooding that, they weren't prepared for and really never experienced. Even here locally, like our storm surge, like rise of the water levels, was not what most people were expecting. It was, at least a foot or two or three more than people were expecting, which can be substantial when you're living at pretty much sea level here. Anyways, off track a little bit there, but just to give you an idea, these things have been happening. There's other things, there's mudslides, there's earthquakes, there's tsunamis, there's fires, there's all sorts of things that are happening all around the world. And they're talking about that these events are going to, earth events are going to be more abundant and probably, higher, what's the word I'm looking for, just stronger. And so it's something to be cautious of and prepared for, but not necessarily scared and frightened about, because I do feel like everything's going to be better on that other side. But when you're in it, it's hard. Like, when you have all that stuff being shoved down your throat, whether it's on the media, the news, social media, everybody's talking about different things, and you're feeling it so much more. Energetically, it's important for you to be able to step away from that, step away from the external, even if it's real. I'm not saying like sometimes things aren't real and need some attention here, but to be able to go within and find your inner guidance, whether that's your, wherever your spiritual, beliefs lie, whether that's your God, your universe, your inner voice, your guides, whatever it is, that you can go inside within and get the information you need to, whether you need to calm yourself or just feel grounded or centered, to get through those situations, because it is going to feel a little challenging. And consider who you have surrounding you, because that's going to make a big difference too. If you have people that are all in panic and frantic mode, that's going to rub off on you. It's just like, they say that you're the average of like the 5 people you spend the most time with, maybe even 10 people you spend the most time with, in a lot of ways, whether that's your familial status, whether that's, your income, whether that's the lifestyle you live, whatever it is, like you're going to be very similar to those people you're around. So if you want to have a calm, supportive, prepared environment, start picking out those people that you do want around in those situations. And that way, when things get crazy, and we're all going to feel it, like no one's going to be perfect through this, but hopefully we can check each other a little bit, like, hey, we're okay. Look around. Look, we're all okay, right? Yeah, we're all okay. We have food, we have water, we have clean air, whatever it is, just to kind of be able to check each other too, because it's going to be a lot. And hopefully too, within you'll have a lot of strength and guidance. But ultimately, we're humans here for a reason, so make sure you have some good humans around you as well. And I say good, just whatever good looks like for you. So moving forward, and we are in December 23 right now, I have added on to my offerings of services one-on-one sessions. So before, I was pretty much just doing like group yoga, group sound healing, because it was easier to facilitate. But now I have set up a office space to meet with you, and if you're not local, I'm happy to hop on a Zoom with you, even a phone call if you're not really comfortable being on a Zoom, to help you with these things. So if you want to work with me on meditation techniques, breath work, you just want to relax and have a sound bath, whatever it is that feels good. If you want to maybe to get your physical body prepared, you want to, build up some sort of yoga practice or, something like that, I can help you with that as well. And so that's what I'm really excited about. And I feel like, no, I don't know everything, but I do know that the more that you can incorporate some of these processes and routines into your life, the easier these challenges are going to be. And no, we're not in a scenario where most of my audience, most of the people I know are not in a situation where we can just go sit in the trees and meditate all day. Like, we have things going on. You see right now, I happen to be driving. A lot of you drive every day. A lot of you go to your job every day. A lot of you, have a lot of responsibilities, whether you have parents you're taking care of, children you're taking care of, a spouse you're taking care of. You have a lot going on. So I'm not asking you to be able to meditate for 8 hours a day. I'm saying, let's give ourselves 30 minutes a day or 2 hours a week or whatever we can fit in there. So if it's that you show up at a group sound bath, because the group setting is also healing in itself beyond just, you know, what I do there, just the group, the support, the community, and just all of the energies that's flowing. Come join us. And if that you're not able to for whatever reason, we can do a Zoom. And if you prefer, you know, you don't want to be in a group setting and you want to do a one-on-one, we can do that too. So you can come in. I have a really nice like massage table. I do not do any massage. I do not touch you, nothing, but you could get a Reiki healing. You could get sound bath. We could do meditation. We could do breath work, whatever you need. We can even do one-on-one yoga sessions if you just want to start working on your yoga practice. But really, these things that are going to help ground us within our present moment, and in order to have those tools available, because it's really easy when you're laying in a group sound bath to relax for an hour. Okay, then what happens when you go home and the next day you go to work and you're in that same situation that was stressful? Thoughts and feelings and emotions are coming up again, and you're like, you know. But the more that you can take that time for yourself to learn those tools, then you have a tool within you. So you're like, okay, we did a little breath work last night too. Let me think about that. All right, I'm gonna do my, you know, square breathing or my right nostril or whatever it is. And you do that for a minute or two. No one even has to know. Like that left nostril breathing, sometimes you can just do that. No one even knows you're doing it. And that can help ground you and, you know, release a lot of that stress and tension. Is it going to change your external? Probably, but, you know, theoretically, no, not really. But it's going to keep you grounded and not allowing that stress, because stress literally kills us. Again, not a doctor prefacing that here, but I see it time and time again when I do run into a friend who does have an illness happening. I'm usually like, oh, have you been stressed lately? Like, oh my God, yes, I've been stressed lately. And I'm like, okay. You know, it's always, I'm sorry, it's always that. The few times in my life that I've come down with a cold or whatever, I can usually say, yep, I've been really stressed. I've been really tired. I've been running around like a mad lady. I've been having lots of things going on. And yeah, somebody's cold caught up to me, you know, or whatever. The germs, the viruses, they're always out there. They're always on you. They're always everywhere. But it's having our immunity, our immune system build up. And that goes beyond just these things that I'm talking about. I mean, it goes into, you know, your diet, what you're eating, your mindset, what you're thinking, what you're putting into your mind. But these things do help also. So anyways, that's 13 minutes of Susan and what I believe is to come and what I would like to offer to help all of you. And sorry, the sun is really bright that I had my glasses on this whole time, but I wanted you to be able to see me. If you're still listening, you can go to susanscorner.com to see some of these things, or on Facebook, Susan's Corner, and it's SUZENS, Corner, CORNER, if you don't know how to spell that, or just, you know, message me somewhere on the socials and we will get something figured out for you. Hope you're having a beautiful holiday season, and try not to stress and just take time for self and to breathe and relax.